All right, I'm going to have a go at the Guardian's weekly Quiptic crossword. This time it's set by Chandler. One across, dishonest, soldiers right, ahead, in court. I'm thinking just because the end part seems to be the word play, so it might be a word meaning dishonest. Now, soldiers, there can be a lot of different abbreviations for regiments, or it could be men or GIs. I think right is probably R. Ahead, ooh, of course, could also be per head. So it could be per, or simply A, as in 20p a head or something like that. Um, in courts, I wonder if the whole thing could be inside CT for court. Dishonest, ooh, corrupt. Could that be? It has an R anyway, at least, well, two. So if the C and the T are court, then OR, I think that is, oh, I can't remember, and I only know about them, I think, from watching Cracking the Cryptic, or Dweebovision, the something Rangers, is that it? And then R for right. And then ahead could it be up? Ahead of you, it is upstream or up ahead. I think it's close enough that I'll leave it for now and we'll see if it agrees with the crossing letters. Antiquated, instrument, from old estate, perhaps in area. So maybe it is an antiquated musical instrument. Oh, it could also be a scientific, like a sextant or something. Old might simply be that first O, if that is right. And then estate. Oh, I think estate. Yes, I have to remember it can be like a station wagon, which could be a car, perhaps, in area. Oh, there is an instrument called an ocarina, which would be old car in A for area. Is that antiquated? I still see them for sale and in use, but maybe it just has a very old history and that's why it's an antiquated instrument. Again, I'm not 100% sure, but let's leave it. Quick incursion, excuse me, by the police to arrest first of perpetrators. Well, if quick is the definition, then rapid. Oh, yes, so an incursion by the police would be a raid, and it arrests or takes in the first letter of perpetrators, so rapid. Part of scam plaguing, so a very obvious hidden clue here. Place with tense would be a camp. So far so good. Sift something difficult to understand. Ooh, that's tricky. Oh, well, I was just trying to think maybe it means difficult to understand, but then I thought, what if it's something, as in a riddle? And I do think if you have like one of those sifts, you know, if you're panning for gold or something, you have those wire mesh and you're shaking it back and forth. Is that, oh, in fact, I think we used to say riddling the great back when we had a fireplace, and in the morning you would riddle it to get all the ashes to fall through. It's interesting. Yeah, I haven't thought of that word in a long time in that sense. A demonstration in support of trial. Okay, certainly having the P is very useful, and in support of is often pro, and a trial could be a test, and that gives a demonstration. Now, can we get this 4-6 writer taken with judgment? In dictionary, that's unbiased. So I think it's going to mean unbiased, which could be open-minded. I do see it has pen inside it, which is the writer. Taken with judgment. So mind must be judgment. How is mind judgment? I can see it's in the OED, which is the dictionary. We've had that before. I suppose if you say I am of the mind to do something, I've decided, or that's my judgment. Is there a better explanation? Thanks to Jay, by the way, last week for explaining one I couldn't understand at the time. Yeah, let's leave it for now. Let's go back to the Downs. Maybe one anesthetic. Well, I think I've seen clues before where an anesthetic is described as something that numbs, and therefore it could be said to be a number, and maybe one is an example of a number. All right, this has to be an anagram here. Examine, varied pins, etc. So an anagram of pins, etc. And I think that's a fairly easy one. Inspect. Now open a tent, possibly, to supply Italian bread. So another anagram, possibly open a tent. I think it's that one we are all duped into buying at Christmas. I have to say, I tried to like it, but I'm just not sure my palate is sophisticated enough to appreciate panettone. But if I am missing something, please let me know. Ooh, did I spell that right? No, I think it's a single N there because we only have two N's to work with, but we have to have two T's. Yeah, let's hope that is right. Oh, we do have to check this. I forgot we had that available. Well, I'll try and complete the crossword without using it. Folded, which sounds with a C something E like creased. Put in note, folded and then note. Put an item of luggage by daughter. Yes, so Ray is the note, case is the item of luggage, and D is daughter. Different rate set around institute for formal written work. Well, 8 letters, rate set is 7, and we do have ETS, which are in set, and that goes around institute, which I presume can be I, as in the RNLI, and it's going to be formal written work. All right, let me try the anagram helper. Rate set I. Treatise, I think. Yeah. I don't know if necessarily formal. I suppose it is. Yeah, there's probably not too many informal treatises. Fear Italy is destabilized. It's a fabricated story. Well, I think another fairly obvious anagram indicator in destabilized fear Italy is 9 letters. And I think we have fairy tale in there. Yeah. Noisy type, distinctly drained after argument. Well, draining a word can mean, I think, taking out all of its innards, and so we would be left just with dy, distinctly. And then that's going to come after a word for argument, and it's going to mean a noisy type. What is an argument? Oh, rowdy, of course. After a row, rowdy. All right, let's try this 9 down, would be nice. Bachelor, a desolate one, sadly, gets to have nothing to do. Oh, well, just looking at the word lengths, and the first word, well, it could be we, but more likely to be, to have nothing to do. Be at a loose end came to mind. I think bachelor is simply B, as in a BA, Bachelor of Arts, and a desolate one, and that is anagrammed, sadly. All right, 15, one favoring a lot of relations. I think there's just going to be some punning definition. Well, they're wondering if it was going to be something to do with nepotism. One favoring a lot of relations. Could be somebody who has made a will. And is there some term for the person who is leaving things in their will? There's a legatee is the one receiving, I think. No, I don't see that one. Let's try learner, which could be L, in bed, which could be a garden bed, showing little activity. So I think it's going to be an L inside a 4-letter word for bed, and showing little activity could be still, but I don't think STIL is bed. Now let's try start to promote exotic diet only in a very obvious way. So I do wonder if this could be start of promote would be a P, and then exotic can indicate an anagram diet only in a very obvious way. Does it end in ly, which seems a bit of a swizz for an anagram to have letters directly in the same position as in the fodder, but I think it is. I wonder if it's pointedly. I think that's an anagram of diet only. Yeah. But is that in a very obvious way? Yes, I suppose if someone says something pointedly, they're making it very obvious what they mean. Yes, I see that now. Talkative striker, losing head in US City. Oh. So I think may mean talkative, and it might be a word for a striker, or it might be a famous footballer. Or, oh, it could be a match, would be a striker, which loses its head in a, well, the obvious US city to go around would be New York, NY. Oh, it could also be NO for New Orleans. What is a word for talkative? Nattery? Um, oh, not coming to me, but does 20, oh yes, it does have a Y as its second letter. Army man, 7 letters, mobilized in Asian country. Myanmar, how do you say it? Still not getting talkative. All right. Definitely confirm those at heart of fine family. I wonder if it's something to do with the heart of these words. We have in and amil, but that's 6 letters. We only need 5. Definitely confirm, or just definitely. I'm thinking this has to be something on, something in. Those at heart of fine family. No, not seeing it. Family could be kin. Ask in. Fine can be F. Definitely confirm. Oh, I suppose if you pencil in, you're just being tentative. Is there a phrase pen in? But I still don't. Or maybe it is family. No, I don't think it can be family. Okay, let's try bedding plant found by old boy with priest in filming location. Ooh, if it's going to be a plant, because that's an awful lot of verbiage. Now, I know from today's cryptic, it actually said, I think, former pupil, and it was OB for old boy. Oh, there is something, lobelia, I want to say. Eli is the priest from the Bible. In filming location is LA for Los Angeles. Okay, that's good. Some stock a leading green-leafed vegetable. Another hidden clue. Kale. It might be. Definitely confirm. Ask in. Ink in, I think. Yeah, so I was on the right lines with pencil in. Yeah, so at the heart of fine is in, and family is kin. All righty. Hear about the Italian bishop in narrow-brimmed headgear. I'm thinking it is going to be narrow-brimmed headgear, but what would that be? Oh, a trilby. Let's see. I think Italian might be IL. and then B is bishop. And to hear a court case is to try it, and that goes about, oh no, it's the Italian. The word the in Italian is il, il, and then B is bishop. All right. Maybe it is nattery. But then what would striker be? A batter? I'm going to put in nattery for now. I won't check it. All right, let's try. All right, looks like we have 3 corners done. Let's try 70. Oh, I did that one. Lean crab moving around definitely sounds like an anagram, and a marine crustacean. This is another easy anagram for me. It's funny how sometimes I see them, and most of the time I don't, and I have to either use the anagram helper or paper, but I saw barnacle there. Loyalty, say, found in association. The say is interesting because either it's saying loyalty is an example of something like a virtue, or it's a homophone, something that sounds like loyalty, but I think it's going to be a word for association. Conference fits. Could be an association, a conference. I don't know. I think there might be a conference with 2 R's, but they don't sound the same, so I don't think it's a homophone thing. Loyalty, say. No, don't get it. Principal, expression, curtailed for early course. Yeah, so thinking of a restaurant meal or a dinner, one of the first courses will be the starter, and a principal could be the star of the principal actor is the star, and an expression is a term, but that is curtailed. Okay. A box of papers I forgot in rental property, and circular. I think it's going to mean circular, which of course could have a few different meanings. Either it's round, or it could be some magazine or periodical that is passed around. I'm thinking we're going to have some word for papers or a box of papers that contains an I, but we remove the I, and then we put that in a rental property, which could be a flat, which we have now the letters of flat, so it would be something in there means circular. Oh, I should be able to get that if that is correct. Of course, a flat doesn't have to be rented. You can own a flat. How would that help our learner in bed if that was an F? Learner in bed, showing little activity. No, I don't like it. Doesn't seem likely. What else could be a rental property? And what's a word for circular? No. How about energetic, performing group, I have shortly indicated. Well, I have shortly suggests it ends in IVE, and energetic could be active. A performing group is an act. I have shortly indicated. Oh, actually, the indicated goes with I have, really just to make the surface reading more meaningful. Ooh, so it's not conference. Loyalties say. I'm thinking it's going to be INCE. Association. Is it association as in a group of people, or as in word association, some kind of linkage? What else could that be? No. All right, let's try our one favoring. A lot of relations. What could it end in? NATOR? Well, let me pause and think about these remaining four. Well, I was thinking of the box of papers, but then I was thinking of paper and reams and other things, and then I thought of leaf, but which got me the answer, I think. A leaflet, I realized, is a circular. You can get put through your letterbox. But I think it's actually a file is a box of papers. So the A is important, as it often is in these cryptic crosswords. A is simply A. File is a box of papers without the I. And that's put inside let, L-E-T. And so they're using let as a noun, as a rental property. Is that common usage in the UK? I mean, I think of let as a verb. You let a property, but not as in, oh, I'm going to fix up my let, or I sold my let. I don't know, it just seems wrong to my ears, but I think it's right. So now this is more realistic, that we have an L for learner in a word for bed, a cot, a bunk, blunk, showing little activity, but even that is a question mark, suggesting there's something funny going on here. No, but how about our loyalty now? Found in association. Oh, allegiance is loyalty. Found in association. Oh, I think it might be IA. That's very clever. Association is alliance, and EG, which means say, or for example, is found inside it. I like that. All right, now one favoring a lot of relations. Ooh, I did not expect E something R. It must be double E R. Could be EAR. One favoring a lot of relation. Of course, it could be somebody like Casanova or Don Juan enjoying a lot of relations, but rum. What could that be? Of course, if you, I think maybe this is more American slang. If you say like a baby favors their grandmother, you say they look like their grandmother. One favoring a lot. And then of relations. Or is it one favoring and it also means a lot of relations, like many aunts? Now let me pause and see what would fit here. No, I'm not seeing anything for that. Let's try our learner in bed again with an L. I'm going to pause and go through the alphabet for the first letter and see if anything comes to me for bed and then little activity. All right, I finally gave up with sack, as in the sack in bed. Oops, and then, sorry, you put an L in that, and you get slack, showing little activity. I think you might say that of a business, to say the business was slack, not much was happening. I think that's why the question mark is there. All right, so now 15 down, we have a R something, C something, N. Rock, reconnoiter, RYC, just to check all my bases. Oh, hold on, let me get rid of that for a moment. Raconteur would fit. Oh, that's a terrible definition. I think it's relations, as in relating stories. A raconteur. Oh, that's one favoring a lot of relations. I think that's just too much of a stretch. I mean, I admire Chandler's brain, the way they work, but I just don't think we're on the same wavelength. That's terrible. All right, let's check all. Everything else still seems to be there. All right, well, for the most part, I think it was fairly easy going. I did run into a few issues. So yeah, not as easy as I was expecting for the Quiptic. I hope you did better than I did. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.